Meet Dr. James Austin, a neurologist who has spent his life studying how creativity and luck interact. You see, most people think that being lucky is random, something that you either have or you don't. And if you don't have it, tough shit. But that's not how luck actually works. Dr. Austin discovered that luck isn't just one thing. It can show up in different forms, 4 to be exact. And the good news is, 3 of them you can influence. Now this matters because if you don't understand how luck works, you'll stumble through life blind. You'll miss out on opportunities that are sitting right in front of you and you won't even know that you missed them. So let's break down the 4 different types of luck and, more importantly, how we can stack the deck in our favor. That way, instead of waiting for luck to strike, we can start making it happen. So luck type number 1 is just pure blind luck. Now this is exactly what it sounds like, just random good fortune, completely outside of your control. No action or trait is really involved. Imagine you're out for a walk and you step on a winning lottery ticket. That's blind luck. Imagine that a meteorite slightly misses your house. That's blind luck. It exists, but it's unpredictable, unreliable. You can't really do anything about it. Moving on. Luck type number 2 is luck from motion. This is good luck that comes as a result of being active, moving around, mixing things up, constantly trying new things, meeting people, and putting yourself in a position to get lucky. It's sort of like if you just mixed up a bunch of stuff in a petri dish. Some things might collide in your favor. By entering yourself into new and unfamiliar situations, things end up colliding in a way that you wouldn't expect. And eventually you will run into luck. By exposing ourselves to new and different situations with new and different things and people, we increase our surface area for getting lucky. Someone who I believe really embodies this principle is the serial entrepreneur Jesse Itzler. This guy, especially during his early 20s, was just bouncing around New York City, hustling and meeting new people and trying to drum up new opportunities, trying to bump into luck. In short, you're not gonna get lucky sitting on the couch. Luck type number 3 is luck from awareness. Now this is luck that only a prepared mind can recognize. To the rest of us, it will pass us by, we won't even notice it's there. When you develop specific knowledge in a field and pattern recognition in that area, you become sensitive to luck because you're able to notice things before the rest of the world does. And the best part about this kind of luck is that it isn't confined always to that field. For example, if you were to take your specific knowledge of ants and how they build their colonies, there might be something in there that you could apply to architecture and building for humans. I'm kind of pulling that one out of my ass, but you get the idea. Okay, here's a way better example. In 1928, scientist Alexander Fleming was coming home from vacation when he noticed that one of his petri dishes had been contaminated with mold. Now, most scientists would have probably tossed it in the trash and just started over, but Fleming noticed something strange. The bacteria around the mold wasn't growing. Now, this triggered a memory from years previously when Fleming had a cold and some of his nasal mucus dripped into one of the petri dishes. He noticed then that the mold around the nasal mucus had started to dissolve. Investigating further, he discovered this enzyme present in saliva, tears, mucus, and he called it lysozyme. Lysozyme breaks down the cell walls of particular bacteria, but it wasn't strong enough to fight serious infections, and so he kind of put it to the side. But this experience primed Fleming's mind. And fast forwarding to the mold incident, he was able to connect the dots and go, hold up, I've been here before. He hypothesized that the mold was releasing a substance that killed the bacteria around it. This substance became what we now know as penicillin, the world's first true antibiotic. Now you could make the case that the nasal mucus dripping was actually blind luck and that the mold was also blind luck, but what makes this luck type number 3 is that Fleming was prepared to recognize that luck. The mold contaminating the petri dish was something that happened all the times in labs. The difference was in Fleming's prepared mind from his specific knowledge and his previous experiences. This led him to spot the significance where others probably would have just seen the contamination. Basically, specific training, pattern recognition, and curiosity allows you to capitalize on opportunities that others might miss. Luck type number 4 is luck from being unique. This is luck that finds you because of your unique character, your unique interests, or your trajectory and story. Your specific individuality acts like a magnet pulling opportunities and luck towards you. Now let's take the previously mention Jesse Itzler and pull him back into this for a sec because there's a story I want to tell. Jesse is also one of those hardcore ultramarathon runner types. And once he showed up to this race in San Diego, this 24-hour relay race. And because it's a relay race, he showed up with obviously his team, supplies, support, whatever. Now looking across the track, he noticed this guy running the race completely solo. No team, no fancy gear, just a folding chair, a bottle of water, and a box of crackers. Jesse immediately paused and said, I need to get to know this guy. Something about him is different. Months later, Jesse finally tracked him down. The guy's name was David Goggins. Now, David Goggins is kind of a household name at this point, but at the time he was relatively unknown. Jesse called him and said, hey, I'll pay you to live with me for a month and train me. Goggins said, okay. Anyways, Jesse wrote a book about the experience called Living with a Seal. The book became a bestseller, and soon the entire world wanted to know the man behind it. A few years later, David Goggins wrote his own book called Can't Hurt Me, which launched him into the spotlight. Now, the message here is that Goggins wasn't going around chasing opportunities, he was just doing his thing. Basically, the more authentic and unique you are, the more likely opportunities are to come to you, because you are in a specific position to receive them. Okay, so now that we've covered the 4 different types of luck, let's talk about how to cultivate them. For starters, be energetic and curious. Mark Andreessen actually wrote a blog post about this book where he uses the term getting the maximum swings of the bat. In other words, stir the pot, be active, meet people, put yourself in places where stuff can happen. Stir up that damn petri dish. A bias towards action is key for catalyzing success and luck. In fact, so much so that it's often preferable to thinking things through more thoroughly. Remember that action produces information. Next is to practice synthesizing. Learn to recognize patterns both within your field and outside of it. When you're naturally curious about the world, you collect a lot of bizarre and random facts about other areas that seem totally irrelevant. But you'd be surprised how you can pull that knowledge in and apply it to areas that seemed totally irrelevant at first. Okay, I feel like I'm doing kind of a bad job of explaining this, but the concept is called finding the intersection. And it's basically where 2 totally unrelated fields intersect, as you probably could have guessed. If you want to read an outstanding book on this, I would recommend, this is actually one of my favorite books. It's called The Medici Effect. In 15th century Florence, the Medici family funded all these different artists and scientists and thinkers from wildly different fields, and the collision of those disciplines created an explosion of creativity, also called the Renaissance. This is kind of what I'm talking about. When you're able to synthesize the patterns and data from one discipline and find a parallel pattern in a completely different discipline, that is when you become sensitive to luck. I'd highly recommend you pick up the book, The Medici Effect. It's not long, it's not complicated. It doesn't really have to do with the story in Florence. It's really more about how to find that intersection today. Highly recommend it. And lastly, lean into what makes you unique. Become known for something. Naval Ravikant has a beautiful way of saying this, which is escape competition through authenticity. Another one of his banger lines is, nobody can beat you at being you. By building a unique character or unique brand or unique mindset, you become a magnet for future opportunities that are best suited for someone with that specific combination of qualities. And with that, thanks for watching this video. If you like learning about good habits and tools like this, then you'll absolutely love my video on the 9 most powerful mental models used by some of history's greatest minds. It's the most popular video on this channel with over 250,000 views. If you're one of those 250,000, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If you haven't seen the video yet, I'll see you over there.